Skip.
Welcome back to another episode of A Record of My Father. Here we are today talking about a little preliminary Kentucky Derby. We're gonna go to the Kentucky Derby, aren't we? Isn't that what we're
Oh
doing?
my God, I'm so rocked. Yes, I am ready to roll. Ready to roll. Yeah, I even got my hat. I got my derby hat. This is a brown derby, not to be confused with the black derby. I have a black derby too. The black derby you're going to wear one day, and I'm going to wear the brown derby, and then the next day you're going to wear the black derby, and I'll wear the brown derby. Okay,
And
because then we
it's
can
like
be
we'll have
black and brown.
two different hats.
Right, and it'll
Right.
be it'll be the Browns wearing the brown derby. What do you think?
Exactly. I love that
Right.
idea. I think that's a great idea.
I'm
But
not going to wear a tie.
it's not called a bolo hat, it's called a derby hat.
It's a derby.
That's
It's
interesting.
called a derby. I have no idea.
What is the difference between that and a bolo hat then?
Well, probably the same damn thing. And they might be a little rounder or whatever.
You
This
know what? I
is
think they are rounder. I think the bolo is rounder and the brim is actually straight or something instead
yeah,
of
I don't like the straight. I like a little bit of curl because I think it goes like, oh dude, you are like,
oh yeah,
whoa,
when you wear it like that
you're
on the back of your head.
styling. You're
Oh
styling, man.
jeez.
Yes, this is gonna be I don't know why I'm so psyched. It's just
Oh,
such a big deal to
we
me.
also just wanted to say thank you for everybody that's replying in the Q&A section. That's a wonderful thing to be able to interact with you guys and to just be able to revel in this great experience that
Oh,
we have.
okay. So you were
Yeah.
able to actually read them?
Oh yeah. No, I haven't read it yet. I saw the email reply there
Okay.
because I got
I
something
saw the
from
email too, and I
Anchor.
tried to find it and I couldn't find it. So it's up
Well,
to
it
you,
said
man.
reply, and then but I was in Denver and I didn't have my computer. So I
Mm.
clicked I tried to look at the reply, but I couldn't because I didn't have the password with me. So
Oh, okay.
I couldn't. But I can
So you're
look at
gonna
it
do
after
that.
this. After this, we'll look at it.
You're gonna do that, and reply. Please reply.
And we'll
Send them a picture of
just the picture of that. That's
the
great.
the Derby man.
The studious man, but it's gonna be fun.
Take the glasses off. That's
Remember
fine.
last year, it was like
My glasses are off, and I'm losing money.
8 horses got murdered or something.
I would never have.
You
I
remember
mean,
that? That was weird. That was strange, wasn't it? That was a weird
I
year.
would never. I would never have done this. The
What?
weird thing is the way this came about is I've been to the Derby before. I went Bushka like 5 years ago. We had a great time.
Was that really 5 years
Uh,
ago already? Jeez.
and then what happened was is we were at a charity auction last year, and I'm really bad at those because I get kind of into the eight, nine, no, 15. And I'm like, no, 12. And, and all that. I get really into the whole idea of pissing away money for stuff that I'm not going to use or buy.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea of going to the Derby. And then I started going into it and I bid a lot. And then they ended up and some it. And then they came back to me and said, hey, your last bid, would you still pay that and go? And I was like, what the hell? Yeah. And so that's how it happened. And this was right before the 2023 Derby. That's the reason for the story. So I'm
Hmm.
talking to Valerie. That's my wife for y'all that don't know it. Anyway, I'm talking to her about it. And then the Derby happens the next 2 weeks later. And they said, do you want to go to this one? I'm like, no, I want to go to the next one, 2024. And they slaughtered like a ton of horses. Like,
It's 7 or 8 horses last year. Yeah, that
oh
was
my
that was
God.
freaking insane, dude. I
And
think it was a lot of them broke their legs or something,
yeah.
and you just yeah.
So for the life of me, the reason I mean I actually wouldn't go to support it because I felt so bad, but it's like we already bought it. I guess I could not go or
It
send it to
almost
the
seemed like a mob thing though, because I remember when my acting coach, who was still alive, was
yeah.
talking about it, and he said that there's a lot of mafia kind of surgeons in the racing world.
Oh
And
yeah.
he said that that was a very purposeful thing that was happening.
Well,
And I don't know, but who knows? I don't know.
when you look at the Derby itself, it's like one of the most bets are placed there. And usually it's like parimutuel betting. When you think about going to a gamble at a horse track, if if only six people show up, it's the six people's money and they're just trading hands. Okay. Because house takes a piece. So that's what parimutuel betting is. So if 10,000 people show up and they all bet $1,000, I mean, what is it, 10 million, 100 million, whatever it is. That breaks up on each race. They break up the amount. That's the purse, the club, the house, and the winnings. So that's the way the track makes money.
Gotcha.
Is
Okay.
the bigger the, and they make it for fees and all this other stuff like that. And I'm not an expert, so all you people out there that are experts, you can chime in and tell me that you're an idiot, and well, you're right, but can you tell me why?
He'd love to know why.
Yeah, but that's my experiments with horse tracks. I mean, I've done Belmont,
Where's Belmont? Is that New York?
New York. It's a far cry from what the Derby is.
Oh, it's not the same
The
thing?
No, it's one of the it's something
This is
called the Triple
circuit, right?
Crown
Yeah.
circuit, the Triple Crown. You do Kentucky Derby, you do Preakness, and then the Belmont or the Belmont and Preakness. I don't remember which one's first. But I've been to all three. I've been to the Preakness probably 3 times, and that is just uh, uh,
Where is
an
that one?
in that's in Pimlico, right up the road. It is a just a crazy party fest. My brother, the non-live one, used to rent a boat. I mean, not a boat. Used to rent a bus. We would rent a English double-decker bus, and he charged people $40. Uh, they would get free tickets to Preakness. We'd go to the end, drive up on it. Just think about an English double-decker bus filled with drunks. Everybody had
For
$45.
$40? That's a hell of a deal.
No. But remember, this is 1980.
Oh, okay.
So, do you know how much liquor you can buy? And it was basically that the amount of money that he got was enough to buy at least a case of beer and 1/2 gallon of liquor for every person attending. And this is for we would show up there. The bus would take off at 7 o'clock in the morning. Top speed was like 50 miles an hour. We'd get up to 695, pull over on the side of the road. And the funniest thing in the world is 35 guys. And the women were all sitting there looking out the windows at us, going like, you guys are disgusting, all peeing on the side of the road. No one, I mean, just like, we got to pee. Oh, okay, we got to do a piss stop. Well, we can't go to a bathroom. There's 40 people that got to pee. So it's like, whip it out. So then we all jump back in, then we drive in. We get there. The way we take the beer in, there's one guy that built a coffin, and and it's a life-size coffin. There's handles all the way around. It's filled with ice and beer, and that's what we carry in. You go in, you stake out your place, and then you immediately go and you steal a Don's John, so you have your own personal bathroom. You grab it and you bring it over to your place. I mean, it's nuts. There are people. There were live bands. There's an infield soccer game in the early morning hours. The race doesn't happen till the afternoon, but the partying starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. Because I mean, they have pictures of me passed out in the infield at like 11:30 in the morning. But then I woke up again at like 4 to watch the race and start the drink again. And then I mean, just crazy. I have a lot of friends from high school that I went with it, and I remember we got left there one time and we had to hitchhike home. And I mean, you would always dress differently when you would go to these events. And I had a top hat on. I was wearing a Speedo or shorts. And I had a flag from an Army Navy game that I took the previous year. I wonder if that's a felony to steal a flag. And I wonder if there's statute of limitations, but
I think
whatever.
it's already over the statute of limitations.
Anyway, I took the flag and had it there and had it over my shoulders, and I had a flagpole, and we used the Navy flag. We were the 37th Company, and that's another story completely that I can tell you about, that we did the whole debauchery crazy thing. We did it there. We go out to hitchhike home. There's me and one other guy, Rudy. God, I can't remember his last name, but he's a black guy, and he says, I am not hitchhiking from here at night. And
Well, how far is Pimlico in general?
Probably like 40, 50 miles.
So it's past Leesburg. Okay.
No, you are going 490, you go to 695 north. So
Okay.
it's up there somewhere. I don't know.
It's in Virginia though, right?
No, it's in Maryland.
Oh, it's in Maryland. Oh,
it's right around. It's just outside of Baltimore.
I think I know where. Okay, yeah. Because there was one at UVA that we would go to, that I can't remember what it's called now.
But this is a hot track. That's where
this was a similar thing. This was a very, very similar thing. Because you
It
go
was,
out there and it's just a giant field, and then you
yeah.
got the track.
Well, that's the infield, and then the people that are civilized stay outside that. I mean,
Yes.
I went with 1 year with this guy, Jim. I won't give his last name, but because he said, "Yeah, I've been to four of these events, and I've never seen a horse."
Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's the level of what was happening. And I remember we would get in line. You would go to go get in line to pee when, like, the second or third year they get there with the Don's John. They set them all up. They put a chain around them so you couldn't steal them. So you had to go pee there. And so you're going to the Don's Johns, right? You're in line. It's a line of like 30 Don's Johns, and the lines are 20 people long. Every single person has brought drugs and beer or liquor to the line because they know it's going to be 15 minutes to get to the front. And they know they're going to have to. And you would see people come out of the toilet and get in line again because people are passing stuff around in the line. And it was just like, and then there's the guy that runs across the Johns, the top of them. He
On the
climbs
top
up
of
on
me.
top and he runs across, and everybody throws their beer at him, and beer cans and all that kind of stuff. There was no, I don't think there was any bottle rules. I don't. They may have had them, but I mean, they were stupid. They were not mean, and they were not malicious. I mean, I did see the SWAT team came, which is kind of funny. I
Why
saw
did
the
they come?
I don't know. I mean, I was hammered. I was walking through the midfield. I see them come onto the track around 11 o'clock. They drive underneath. They come onto the midfield and they're driving over. And it looks like a UPS truck. It's a big, giant UPS truck, black, and it's got SWAT across the side, right? They pull up. And as soon as they pull up, there's a dude runs over, and he's just got cutoffs, no shoes, no shirt. He got service though. He ran to the rear tire and he starts peeing. And I'm like, even I wouldn't do that.
Ooh.
He whips it out right there. He had to pee so bad, and he's peeing because he thought, like, wow, this is a place no one can see. That's how messed up he was. He pees right there. The guys jump out. The driver looks at him disgust. The guys open up the back door, get out. The first guy sees him. They look. They grab him. They handcuff him. They throw him in the back, and they drove off. And I was like looking at us. It's like, so
They met the
they,
quota.
well, I don't know. They came here
The
for
quota was
him.
one guy.
How did they know it was the right guy? Because it was just the oddest thing. I remember seeing this, and I was just like, I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, well, what was that all about? Why would they just turned around and left? And you were like, it didn't make any sense to me. They got one guy. I guess they were gonna, they needed a barbecue or whatever the hell, and what the hell, they got him and took him, and it was just like, oh man, it was funny. But there were so many crazy scenes there. Oh, year after year after year. My brother's, I mean, it was really his genre that went there. Bob went there, I think, one year. Uh, uh, there were people that were doing all sorts of different things. You were always running into people naked, people having sex on the infield. It was just,
Is this still a thing?
yeah, yeah. I haven't been in years and years and years. They said the infield is still pretty crazy. I don't know if it's the same level,
Oh, I
but now,
doubt
like,
it's the same level.
weed's legal, so everybody's stoned,
Yeah.
you know. And they
But
probably won't let you bring in. I mean, what they try to do, what all these venues try to do, is they try to restrict alcohol, so you'll buy it there, and no one's going to go in and spend $200 worth of alcohol. I mean, if you could spend $40 and it was just all day and a ride and entrance fee, total crazy, where you will be talking about it. I mean, this is literally 40 years later that it was just an amazing time. And there were so many things. I have pictures. I still have pictures of it. I can probably show you one where I was. I'll send
I
that. And
can
you can post
probably
that.
show you one. This could be the thumbnail. That'd
Yeah.
be a
Oh
good
my
thumbnail
God.
photo.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll
That'll
just
be a
go
great
like,
thumbnail photo.
you'll be like, oh my God, because I'm at a top hat and I have a vest on and I'm sunburned, burnt red, and I have cut off jean shorts and I'm laying on the infield and I'm out. I'm out. This is like 11 o'clock in the morning. So
Um,
yeah, but the good old days. That was Preakness. Belmont. Jeff and I went, and that's in New York. And the first day was really kind of mellow, and then the second day, I mean, we went to the party place, but it wasn't really. It was
wasn't it
exciting
crazy?
and it was fun, but it wasn't crazy. But the Derby There's 10x the people that there were at Belmont. There's probably the same level of energy that there was at Preakness on the infield.
I think
It
there's a
was
level of
just,
culture though. There's a
but
cultural difference
we
between
were.
Belmont and
That's true.
yeah.
This group is a lot. How do I say it in a nice way? Snotty, than the Preakness people because you're in the stands. You're in a private area. They had literally the fold out tables by eights, and this is
Hmm.
where we're going. They were filled with varieties of liquor, and it was pour your own. And then
Whoa,
they had vat.
that's strange.
Dude, that's what we're doing. That's what we're going for.
That's crazy.
They give you 6 different types of liquor, and they're all over. There's a few clears, and there's a bunch of browns, and then there's literally vats of beer.
Oh,
And
that's
I think they
dangerous.
have a couple kegs here and there, so you can drink that. I mean, I think what you got to do is be really good at what you're thinking and what you're doing. You can't go there and go. If you start hitting liquor at 7:30 in the morning,
It'd be
you're
a
just
problem.
not going to make it. You're not going to see the Derby, and the whole reason we're going there is to see that race. Also, we're going to bet. We're going to bet on every race. We got to bet the. Hope this doesn't offend too many people, but we always bet the death date of someone that we know or love.
Oh yeah, you
And
have to.
yeah, and my death date is my brother who died on 4/18, and I'm going to bet his death date, and we will. And last time I did, I won $1,200. So you know,
Wow,
I mean, it's
that's
cool. He
gets
bet, and
results. It's a
the way
strategy.
the way I learned this is I learned it from him because he used to bet when my father died. He was at the track 2 weeks later, and he bet his death date, and he won like $500. And then he's
So
like,
it works. It's proven. It's a proven
"Well,
strategy.
no." And then again, when my mother died, he went to the track and they bet it again, and he won like $900. So you're like, it's disgusting, but you do a box, of what it is. You're going to do a trifecta 3 horse, probably a, 2, 5, $10 bet, and you know, for each one, and it's just, oh my god, and the odds are usually pretty crazy, and you can do it on different ones, but the difference between all of them is the Derby has the Longines race on Friday, and Saturday is the Derby.
What is
The
that? What is the
Longines,
Longines?
I don't know. I think it's like I thought Longines with jewelry or the watches and that because that's a big thing, a big name brand. But it's some great open, and it has, the bigger the pool of money to win, the more people coming there. It's no different than the lottery.
The
I mean,
Powerball or the Virginia
like if
lottery. Yeah.
Powerball's 10 everybody's lives or most people's lives, then nobody gives a crap for some reason. But if it's a billion, you know, I mean, really, the difference between 10 million and a billion, if you have nothing, is like, well, what difference does it make? So you bet on the billion. So this is the big money bet. So money from all across the world will bet on this. And now you have DraftKings, so the pools are going to go up
Oh, that's going to be
exponentially.
gigantic.
So there's huge amounts of money to win. So, and remember, the more money that's bet, the more the payout.
DraftKings
So
really has changed everything, hasn't it?
yeah, it's just, well, there's, I think they're really trying to cut into, was it Molokai or Mackay? Mackay is the big, somebody was telling me that, wow, do you know the difference between Mackay, which is Asia? They have a betting group over there, or a betting place where you go and gamble, and like Vegas. And it's like, what? And it's like, well, Mackay is like, I think it's like 50 or 100 times the amount is bet there. Not like 2 or 3 or 5. You're like,
I'm just thinking of
it's
the deer
huge.
hunter scene now.
It's
That's
just,
what I'm
it's
imagining.
huge. It's crazy, when you see that kind of stuff. So it's, and I'm going there, and I feel bad about the horses that died last year, but I'd already bought it, and I wouldn't have gone because right afterwards she's like, I can't go because
Yeah, it is pretty
she's much,
horrendous.
well, she's much more moral than I am. So,
Oh, yes.
and
More
that's good.
ethical.
I like that. You know what I mean?
Having strong ethics is good. I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing at all.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, but I posted on LinkedIn today.
I got a notification actually.
Do you know what that is?
What?
The Trump media,
I didn't see that
uh,
you posted
would
it. Or
I
no, I
didn't
saw the
want to
notification, but I didn't look at the post.
I didn't want to like go into all the politics of it, but it's really funny that they went public, what, 2, 3 weeks ago, and he owns 50% of the company. Well, they filed an S1 today, a registration statement to register a bunch of shares. He registered all his shares for sale in the secondary offering, which means you can sell them in the market at any time. And so did everybody else. Most of them registered registered to sell, which means they are going to sell them this time, right? Well, uh, I looked at the document because it's what I used to do. And the cool thing is they have something called a code of ethics on how they treat things and how they don't cheat and they don't lie and they don't misrepresent thing and they don't do conflicts and I mean it is just it's a comedy to read it when you know who the board of directors are, which are like his son, which has I mean there's just tons of conflict and it's a funny thing when you think about code of ethics, because when you think about code of ethics, this is something that all public companies or most small, medium, and large companies have to adopt. They're required under, I guess it's the 34 Act, uh, the SEC. So and it has to be very specific. It can't just be, yo, we ain't gonna do bad shit. It's not. It's got to be. And this is I don't know, 10, 15, 20 page document. So it's a fun read.
That reminds me of when the WeWork couple, when they
Hmm.
did went to IPO, that they did their own document with photos.
Yeah. Well, you can. Well, I
Nobody's ever done that before. That was crazy.
if you read this S1, you will read a lot of stuff that's just silly. You wouldn't expect that. You know, they're against us. You don't whatever. You know.
There again. What do you mean by that?
Well, they some of the words they say in the document are what you wouldn't consider to be typical lawyer speak. What you're trying to do is make it as vanilla, plain vanilla as possible, so you can get it through registration, so you can register the shares, so you can sell the shares in the open market. Because the ultimate thing you want to do is you want liquidity for the company. That's why a company goes public. You want liquidity for the company. You want liquidity for the shareholders. And what I mean by that is so they can sell shit, so they can make money off of all their time and effort over the years. Well, what he's doing is registering his 140 it's 141 million shares registered. He's 114 million shares of those registered in this sale. So it's
Oh,
like, yeah, he's
he's chasing after that
no, he's going to cash out.
liquidity. Yeah,
And I mean that's what I would, if I looked at that, I'd be like, dude's going to be gone. I mean, the only reason you're going to make any money at this thing is if he somehow gets elected. He's going to make Truth Social the national mouthpiece of the White House, and then everybody and his mother to every horrible country in the world, or good whatever, they're all going to have to subscribe. They're all going to have to become members, right? Because they want to be nice to the guy in charge. I mean, we've got $1 trillion budgets, you know? I mean, I would, if you were, Zach's stupid farm and you open up something, I would join. And the reason I would join is because I don't want you to look and see that I'm not, if you're the decision maker. I mean, that a lot of people, that's a qualifier. And
you're
people
gonna
used
be
to say that,
untrustworthy. Yeah,
well,
I see
people that
exactly
came
what
to
you're
visit
talking
them,
about.
guess where people came to visit them stayed in DC? They stayed at the Trump Hotel, because if they stayed somewhere else, well, I mean,
It's a
you're
level of
coming to
affinity. Yeah, it's a
you're
level
coming to
of
ask me for
affinity.
something and you don't stay at my hotel. Well, maybe we won't talk to you. And he's known to be uh petty, so that would
No,
that
no
would be
way.
something that you would play against, right? That's it exactly. But this is I digress. We've gotten off the whole main topic of the Derby. The Derby is going to be so exciting. This is a prequel. We are going to do a subsequent one after the fact for anything that
Oh
we
yeah,
we remember. I'm not sure we're going
without
to
a doubt.
remember a lot. It's going to be good. We're going to have to take pictures. Um,
Lots of pictures and videos.
yeah, none of them of me naked, unless you're not showing my face.
Only a couple. Only a couple. Only a couple
Okay,
of
I
those.
want my belly, man. I'll get my. I'll paint. What I was thinking about doing was getting a tattoo on my belly button. You
Mhm.
know.
Or a belly button ring. You could do a
Yeah.
ring.
Oh man, that's supposed to
Yeah.
be really painful.
I don't understand how people do that.
No, I had
So
a buddy
painful.
that did right through there. He also did a really cool tattoo right here where it shows a split and it's ripped open and you can see into his ribs and his heart. It's just so wicked cool. And I was like, I would do that, you know,
That with the
or
belly button ring or without the belly button ring?
with the belly button ring.
I think you got to have that as a
Crazy.
counterpart there.
He's the guy that ran onto the field, the ball field at and uh
Oh, this
and
guy was the one that worked for you, right?
yeah, yeah, we're
Yeah.
with me. No one works for me.
You're right.
Okay.
With you.
Yeah.
With you. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Well, no, it's
It's a
true.
good
It's like when you
statement.
think about it,
That was
well,
great.
so many people take credit for all the crap that happens, and just because you got hired, you get paid, and our company does well, it's like, and I happen to own a good piece of the company, doesn't mean that I'm very weird in that way of leadership. I think that that's uh, uh, smart people that do great things when you let them loose, that they make beautiful things happen, and that's kind of the way that I like things. Are we
There's a
near the
level of
end?
machismo that's affiliated with
Yeah.
business practices like that. Like I don't know. I'm just thinking about Thomson Reuters, right?
Well, people have to beat you down,
And
you
I'm
know.
thinking about other businesses and other people's
Is
practices.
this my question to you is, are
Yeah.
we right down near the end?
No, no, I haven't even gotten a time yet. It's
Oh,
probably gonna
I
be.
can see mine and it says it's 29
Oh, okay. Well,
and
we usually run for
47 seconds.
37 to 38.
Uh
So I'll probably get a notification within the next couple seconds. Yeah, I'll probably get a notification within the next couple seconds here. Yep, there it is.
oh, there
There
we
it is.
go. Okay,
There it
now
is.
I
It popped up.
understand it. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it died at 30, but it dies at 40. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah, it's
want to I didn't
40.
want to
It's
stop
not
it.
30.
But back to the Derby. We're gonna go dressed. We're gonna be the Browns and the Browns, or whatever the case it is. I'm like, we got the really silly sports jackets and or the pretty ones, and we're gonna be great looking, and we're gonna be the what do you call it? Debonair, or what's that other word? Uh well, we're just gonna look hot.
Debonair? What is it? What is a debonair?
No, I don't know. When you're dapper is the better
Oh,
word.
dap.
Yeah, we're going to
Deb
be dapper dressers and go there and meet people and influence people. I think we should, if you can get your cards done, we should hand them out there.
Oh, yeah,
I
that'd be
think that would
great.
be really cool. That you should listen to our podcast. We're going to do a story on the Kentucky Derby, and we'll have to do it that Monday. We're going to fly back on
Yes.
Saturday. We're going to do it on Monday, and we're going to launch it that night. This one we're going to do early, so let's build a little bit of thing around this, and then we'll talk about what was our experience there. I mean,
You could
how
even
many
do it on
times
Sunday.
did
Oh,
we get?
when do we come
We're
back
not.
on?
Well,
There's no.
we're not going to be back till 5 or 6 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay. That's
You're
the
probably going to be back at 3 because you're going to
no,
leave there at 3 and then you get 3 hours back.
no,
I am going to leave there at 3 and I'm not going to get any hours back. So
no
you'll be
hours
home at
back.
you'll be home at 3 and I'll be home at 6,
You don't think
something
there's a
like that.
time difference between Kentucky and Virginia?
There is, but it's not like by the clock. It's by the uh, uh, history, genealogy, all that other stuff. But
That's what I always
anyway,
ask William when he's in Maine. I say, "So, what's it like up there? What time is it there?" It's a
my
great
mother
question.
asked us that when my brother and I drove down to Florida in like 73. I remember on a long trip, and that she's talking to us and she goes, "Well, what time is it down there?" And my brother was like, "Well, let me check Southern Standard Time and I'll let you know."
Oh, that's
I'm like,
great.
what an asshole. But she raised us, whatever.
Uh, yeah, she raised us. It was
Yeah, it's
her
all her
fault.
fault. I didn't it had nothing to do with it. Let me check my Southern Standard Time and I'll let you know.
Well, that sounds like Foghorn Leghorn almost.
Oh, it was funny. Yeah.
He was a
Oh,
great
that
guy.
was a crazy trip. Oh my God. He picked up a rattlesnake that was about 5 to 6 feet long. Oh my God. Man, he picks it up. He doesn't know what to do with it. We
Hmm.
stop. We're driving in Everglades. And we're driving a Fury 3, right? Old cop car. 327 4 barrel. Ball. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, you can watch the gas gauge just drop as you hit the gas. Anyway, we're flying through there. I don't know what the main road is through the Everglades. We're going along. He nails the brakes, and this is before. I mean, we had seatbelts, but who the hell wore them? That would have been silly. Uh, I hit the dash. He stops, throws open the car. I throws it into drive, throws open the car door, and starts running just straight back. What? What's he doing? What? What happened? Did what? And I didn't know what the hell went on. So I jump out and I run after him, leaving the car there. Two doors open in the middle of the road in the Everglades, and I think it was 72, 73. He's running, and it's a snake, and it's all the way across one side of the road, three quarters of the way. He runs up to it, he grabs its tail, and he picks it up, and he goes, "Rattlesnake," because he'd never seen one live. Well, at this point, he realized what was he going to do with it, and you could see the look of oops in his eyes. It was so funny. So he starts going around in a circle swinging. So, because the rattlesnake immediately starts climbing up its body to bite the hell out of you. And a rattlesnake bite in the Everglades in the 70s, hey,
Sounds like a recipe for
I would
disaster.
have left him there to die because he was so stupid. But, he ran to pick it up because he never, and it was like, oh, you just get him by the tail. And it's like, and then what? And there was no, and then what, which was really kind of cool. Anyway, and he was probably 21 at the time, and I was 16. We had a rum drinking story too, but I won't go into that here. Anyway, he runs around in a circle swinging because he just starts turning around, and he can't continue to turn around because he's getting dizzy. And and I'm worried he's going to let it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. And he lets it go, and it goes and hits on the side of the road and goes into the bush. It's gone.
Surprised you didn't let it
I
go
was
at you by accident.
Well, I was worried.
I would have been
And
worried
he's
about
always
that.
got that. And Edwin always has that funny laugh when he does stuff like that. Well, no, he knows I'm scared, so scared of heights and stuff like that. So every time we go over a bridge, if he's in a back seat or anything like that, he opens up the door, and that
Yeah,
just rattles me. And we went over the Bay
I
Bridge, went
remember
to the
that.
beach one time, and he couldn't open it, and I heard that, and he couldn't do it, and I said, I got the child locks on.
Oh,
But we were
you
coming
were
back from St.
expecting it.
Augustine, and he had a van. Forget who had the van. And I'm sitting there by the van, and he presses the van door and opens the van door. Oh no, he didn't. It didn't have automatic. He opened the door and threw it back. So we're going down the road at like 65, 70 miles an hour, and the van door just.
So loud too. I think I was in the car when he did that.
Oh yeah, you
I
remember?
I was in the car, yeah.
And we were like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's when you got the big prongy thing that stuck you in the hand. I thought you got bit by a snake. That's a.
I thought this was years after that for some reason. I thought this was
Oh,
when I was about 15.
so crazy.
I'm thinking I was 15 or 16
Well,
at
you've
this
been
time.
there a couple times. I mean, we
Yeah,
we
a
we had
couple
the
times.
prongy thing happen. That was one time, and that was just me and you. And then another time, you and I went there. We stayed at his house, and we went to it's Tuckney, and we went somewhere else.
Mhm.
We didn't stop on the beach and go to the liquor store at St. Augustine. And I mean,
No,
on the way, you know, the Seth may have
no,
been there too when we were there. I don't remember
quite possibly.
because I have the picture of you on my shoulder
Yeah, that was a different
downstairs.
time. Yeah, yeah. I think that
Yeah,
was a
that's
different
the
time
time
before the
that's the
van.
time I'm thinking about.
Ah, okay. Well, I think that on that note, we're gonna wrap up here. We're
Yeah.
well, we got a couple minutes left. As always, thank you guys so much. We do it for you, but we really do it for ourselves, you know.
Yeah,
But
for the most part.
we got a Q&A section
I
as
told
always.
Wajdi about it too, and he came down because one of our trees was on fire because it was hitting the power pole, and that's a
Oh,
long story. Yeah, and he
jeez.
came down, knocked on the door, and I met
What?
son,
Remy?
not yeah,
There we
met
go.
Remy, talked to them. And I told him I had a record of my father, and I said, hey,
Oh,
come
wonderful.
listen. So you guys, you've now been tagged, so you have to
Yep.
listen.
Yeah, you have to listen to it now. That's the
Yeah,
rule.
if we name you,
If you get named in the episode, you have to propagate us.
that's
You
right.
have
We
to
should
put
go
us
through and
up.
just name all the people that are listening and
Let's
thank
just
them.
start naming names. Let's just start doing that. All right. Thank you
Joe
guys.
Joe
We will
Rogan.
talk to you later. Bye bye.